Hello, my name is Sarah and I am a strength coach in New York City. I have worked with many people ranging from teenagers all the way up into their 70s, 80s. Today's video is focused on those that are 60 plus. We'll go over flexibility, mobility drills, as well as balance that you can practice daily. We'll be using a chair for many of the exercises, but you can also do them standing. Be sure, if you like this video, to subscribe below after so you can see more videos that will enhance your daily activities. So, we'll be doing each movement for about 30 seconds, and that is completely up to you. You can do it a little bit longer if you need to, or even a little bit shorter. We'll start by mapping the entire body, hitting each joint on their own. Starting from our torso, we'll just do side bends. You want to reach down towards the floor as much as possible, feeling a nice stretch in the side of your back. If you want to get deeper into this stretch, you can reach overhead. You want to feel like someone is pulling you from one direction and then the other direction. I'm sure we felt that before in our life, being pulled in one direction and then the other. And again, we're doing a side stretch, so you should feel this in the side of your body as well as that back. We'll do 2 more. And then we'll go into a rotation of the torso. So using our chair for support, we're going to twist and look behind us. We'll hold it for about 5 counts. And again, if you need to hold this stretch longer, or maybe do a few less reps, that is okay, because this is your training in your workout. And now from here, we'll go into our shoulders. So always think of a tall posture when we are sitting in our chair. I have a 90-degree angle with my knees, and there's a string pulling me up from the top of my head. I want us to hold on to that strong posture as we shrug our shoulders high up towards our ears, roll them back, and then release. High up towards our ears, roll them back, and release. And throughout this video, always check in with yourself. Are you maintaining this tall structure, this nice tall posture, or do we start slouching into our chair? And let's reverse. So same thing, and then we roll our shoulders forward, pulling them back, reach high up towards those ears, and then roll them back. As you're going through every rep, can you increase your range even just a bit? And last one, let's find that tall posture one more time by shrugging up, roll those shoulders back, and then lowering down. Let's go into our elbows. So our hands will be clasped just below our chest. Keeping those palms facing the floor, I want us to extend as much as possible with keeping those palms down by the floor. Most likely, we won't be able to stretch our arms completely straight, and that is okay. Because when we do that, and now my palms are facing you, we're borrowing from our other joints. And we really want to focus on our elbows. So we'll do a few more here. Again, each position we want to do for about 30 seconds, but if you want to go a little bit longer, by all means, it is your training. And then last one, another stretch to get into the elbows. You'll give me a thumbs up, arms should be straight, and then we'll bring them towards us. Going in a rotation, making it as smooth as possible. As we pull our elbows forward, you want to try and squeeze them together as if you're squeezing a pillow in between those elbows. And then we'll go one more before we reverse. So now my thumbs go out, across my chest, and then ending with a thumbs up. We'll add 10 more seconds. And last one, And now just going into our wrists. So clasp those fingers and we're going to make circles, nice and smooth, exploring how much mobility and movement can we get in those wrists. And maybe starting off, we don't have that much, but if we make this a daily practice or even a couple of times a week, you will see great improvement. And then we'll reverse. Nice and smooth. Sometimes I hear a little snap, crackle, pop, as if it's Rice Krispie treats, and that's okay. Good, and now we'll shake it out, still going into our wrists. Have your elbows by your side. You wanna make a fist from here, and as if your knuckles, you're painting a fence. You want the top of your wrist to lead, and then the bottom of your wrist will press down. Trying to make the movement as smooth as possible, and it can go as slowly as possible. Making it small. Right now, the fence that we're painting is pretty small. And now we're gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can have those arms a little straighter and then press down. Staying with our wrists, we'll bring our elbows back in. And now this one's a little tricky. You're going to have them go side to side, letting the side of our wrist lead the movement. Starting off small range and going slow will help us master this one. It takes some coordination. And we'll go for 10 more seconds. And 2 more. And last one. Let's just shake it out, shake it out. Very good. Now let's go into our fingers. Something that we don't always focus on when we think of mobility or stretching, but we use them a lot. And especially sometimes we'll start losing that sensation. So focusing on our hands and getting them to move individually will be important. So just give me a thumb, finger, middle, pinky. And then slowly we'll reverse. Trying to get each one to move on its own. This one's really hard for me. Being very precise. And last one. And now, as if we're making a fan, we're going to smooth out that motion. So thumbs up, and it's creating a fan ending in okay. And last one. Good, so let's just shake out those wrists, shake out those fingers. So we started with the middle of our body, our torso. We did our shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers. Let's work our way now from our hips and down into our ankles. So going into our hips, holding underneath our leg, bringing up our knee. And then from here, see if we can extend the leg. So we'll go over into the knee. I always think of that I'm kicking down a door when I extend my leg out. And then from here, see if we can cross the ankle onto our thigh. And this might be just enough to stretch out that hip. If this is too much, you can do the same stretch by bringing your ankles down towards your shin and then folding into our hips a little bit. So this one will stretch out those hips as well as bringing our ankle up onto our thigh. And we'll just hold it here to get deeper into the stretch. Feel free to fold over. And we'll hold it for 10 seconds. Again, the same stretch can be done, folding over. And release. Let's bring that leg up again, and now we'll go into the ankle. We did the hip, knee, with bending and straightening that leg, and now let's make circles, as if you're painting a painting by using your foot. And we'll do 2 more. And then other direction. And now how is your posture? Is that string still pulling you up tall, or did we start sitting back into our seat? And then from here, we can release it. We'll point, and then bring our toes towards our shin. Bring our toes down towards the floor and towards our shin. We'll go with that 3 more times, and then we can switch sides. Good, so we'll do the same thing, holding underneath. You never want to be hugging our knee, but just holding underneath that thigh. From here, we'll just hold this stretch. You should feel it in your hip. Sitting as tall as possible with a proud, open chest. And now from here, as if we're kicking down another door, and bring it back in. Again, these stretches especially, you can do in your chair, or if you want to work on that balance, you can do it standing, but always have a chair close by and handy to give you support. And now we can fold our legs, or again, we can bring that ankle up to our thigh. This side's much tighter for myself, and you might find that one side is a little looser than the other, or the other side is really tight. And we'll hold this stretch for just 10 more seconds. It can be a little bit longer, and if you choose for it to be a little bit longer, just press pause. I'll still be here. Okay, from here, we'll go back into that leg and now make circles with the ankle. If we're getting tired, if this is a lot for us to hold up our leg, you can just relax and have it go closer to the floor, as long as we're really focused on that ankle. Good, and now we're going to point our toes down towards the floor and then pull them towards your shin. Point them down, stretching out the ankle, but especially when you bring it towards your shin, you should feel a nice stretch in that calf muscle. And we'll do 3 more. And rest. So now let's turn. Always use the back of your chair for support. So I want to have my back knee down towards the floor. And again, am I leaning back, or is that string still pulling us tall? From here, I'm going to reach and then pull. And when I pull, I want to lean back slightly. Feeling a nice stretch in that back, but then also feeling it in that hip. We'll do 2 more and then hold that stretch. And last one, and hold. So right now I'm feeling a stretch in that hip and a little bit in that thigh, in that quad, by having that knee down towards the floor. And let's release, and we'll rotate towards the other side. Again, that back arm is on the back of my chair for support. Back knee is down on the floor. I'm going to reach, and then I pull, as if I'm pulling a rope towards me. We have 2 more, and then we'll hold that stretch 1 more time. And hold that stretch. So again, you should feel a really nice stretch in that hip. Those guys get tight, especially when we sit for a while. And then a stretch down that thigh. And release. Moving on, we're going to stand up and use the back of our chair. We're going to go back into our spine, and then also feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings. So you want to be just about an arm's distance from your chair. Feet will be planted underneath us. And from here, I'm going to reach for my chair, creating a nice flat back, and maybe this is far enough for us. We want to make sure that we keep our knees soft so we're never locking out. So soften them, and we'll hold this stretch for just about 10 seconds. Focusing on keeping our back nice and flat, but again, you should feel a stretch from the back of your legs. To get out of this stretch, we'll drop that chin, curve through that spine, and then end with an open chest. We'll do that again. So pulling those hips back, reaching forward for our chair, and sinking into this stretch. Dropping that chin, rolling through that spine. So you want to curve it like you're an angry cat, ending with an open chest at the top. We'll go into this 2 more times. So reaching forward, pull those hips back. Are we locking out our legs? We should have a nice soft bend in those knees. Drop that chin, roll through that spine. Oh, this always feels so good. Open up. So one more time, reaching forward. And then drop that chin, roll through that spine. And now that we've gone through those stretches, we should feel even a little bit taller, or maybe even a little bit more open, hitting every joint and just working on the flexibility in our legs. Moving on, we'll go over some really simple balance drills. So I'm using my chair for support. You can use a counter, but always when you practice your balance movements, make sure you have some support handy. First, we're going to have our feet planted underneath us, toes pointing forward, and that string is still pulling us tall to keep that strong posture. I'm going to roll through up to the balls of my feet, and then slowly down. I want us to be mindful of pressing into the floor, having all 10 toes on the floor. A lot of times we don't think of that we are constantly moving and we're only on one leg, going up and down stairs, stepping off of the sidewalk. And we want to make sure that we're stable when we are walking up those stairs, when we're stepping off the sidewalk, or even just walking down the sidewalk. We find we're on one leg more times than not. And last time from here, can we be brave and daring and maybe we take that hand off our chair? Keep that hand fairly close. It's okay if we're wiggling around. Just keep trying to press all 10 toes into the floor. And release. Good. Let's just shake out those calves. That was a lot. So we'll go through that again. We're rolling through our feet and then rolling back down to our heels, shifting. Whenever we're working on balance, it's really important of knowing where is our weight. Is it forward? Is it back? Is it even? Is it on one leg? And now we'll hold. Find that balance. Oh, good thing I have my chair here. And then lowering down. So now, as if we're on a railroad track, so one leg's going to be back, the other leg's going to be in front. Just like when we walk down the street. From here, we'll roll up and then back down. So going through what we just did, now our stance is split. And we can move through it a little bit faster. Always think of being on that train track. Toes are facing forward. And last time, and we'll hold. Even just balancing up like so and keeping our hand, it's working on that balance. So let's go to the other side. What we do to one leg, we need to do to the other. So I'm on that train track. I have one foot behind me, and we'll roll up. And then roll back down. And now let's hold it. Giving yourself just a couple of minutes a day to work on your balance, you'll greatly improve it. Today we spent a nice long time going through the entire body, mapping it out. But if one day you're like, I just want to focus on that balance, then taking those few minutes, that is fine. One more drill, and now we're going to keep that foot planted. We're going to just lift up, see if we can balance on that one foot. And then back down. See if you can hold on to it for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. maybe even up to 15. Then we can switch legs, holding, balance. Our next balance exercise, you'll be staying on one leg and you want to keep that foot flat and always press into the floor. That will help with stability. From here, the moving leg, just the heel should be on the floor. I'm going to drive that knee up to the height that's comfortable for you and then pull the heel down. Bring that knee up and then drive that heel down towards the floor. Again, how is your posture? Trying to keep that chest open and standing as tall as you can on one leg. Here, I'm still using my chair for support, but by all means, if you're feeling strong, feeling daring, maybe we take that hand off. We'll go one more time, and then hold that leg. Again, it can be as high off the floor as you'd like, or as close to the floor. And see if you can bring that hand to your hip. I like keeping my hands on my hips, so then I know where my hips are. And we always want them pointing forward right over that ankle. Good. And let's shake out that leg. We'll go to the other side and do the same thing on the other leg. So I'm standing right over that stable leg, heel into the floor, and I'm going to drive that knee up and then back down. It's helpful if you find a focus right in front of you and just focus on that one point. It can be anything on the wall, a picture, or a little dot. That always helps with your balance. And we'll do 2 more of bringing that knee up to where it's comfortable for you and then back down. And last time, and just hold it. Being okay of standing on one leg. And then again, if we want a little bit more, we can bring that hand off, nice and slowly. And balance for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Our last exercise, we'll be working side to side. You can stay on either side of your chair, or you can even bring your chair in front and do it like so. We're going from one foot to the other, just getting used to having that weight over that stable foot. Are we leaning too far to one side, or are we standing tall and all that weight is on that one foot? I'm using my chair again for support, giving me some security, but if you're feeling really good, just going from one leg to the other. We'll do this for 10 more seconds. A simple movement, but if we practice it daily, it will really help strengthen our feet, ankles, and improve our balance. We have 3, 2, and 1. So those are 3 simple balance exercises. You can do all 3 a couple of times a week, or maybe you choose to do 1 and make balance work a daily practice. Again, I am Sarah. Be sure to subscribe to the link below if you like this video, and so you can see more.